Hey guys, been a minute since I made a video for you all. I think it's about due. So I figured I'd try and give some helpful advice that I think is really going to benefit you if your goal is to be the best bodybuilder, the best strength athlete, just the best you can be in anything competition-wise, or even if your goals are just to improve yourself physically in the gym day to day. So I just kind of want to get into a little bit of my philosophies, namely when it comes to coaching, but also things I personally follow as an athlete. So the first rule is hard work wins. So you have control over how hard you're working in the gym, how hard you're working on your meal prep, how hard you're working on controlling aspects that create stress in your life and how you respond to that. So really remember that, the more you put in, the more you get out. So that's the second principle I follow. You get out what you put in, right? So if I'm putting in more effort during my workouts, if I'm putting in more consistent time in the gym, if I am more consistent and I'm putting more effort into my meal prep, you absolutely will see an increase in performance and you'll see an improvement in your physique as well. So just remember that. You get out what you put in. The other thing that really helps mentally in the mindset, I think, to becoming your best self is that you can't control the outcome, right? Unfortunately, bodybuilding is largely subjective. Sometimes it's about who knows who, unfortunately. But what you can do is you can focus on the effort and you can control the effort. So what brings me peace and what puts me in the mental state to really do my best day in and day out is knowing that maybe I am not going to win a particular competition, but what I can do is win the day, right? I can win the day by putting in my best effort day in and day out. And that really is going to bring me joy knowing that. And to be my best self, right? I'm not always comparing myself to another individual. That can be taking away from some of the joy you experience along your lifting journey. So sometimes you want to focus, actually most of the time you want to be focusing on comparing you to you. How did I do this week compared to how I did last week? How am I looking in terms of my physique, my performance, everything else in comparison to last year, right? And if you can say that, those things are trending in a good direction, then you should be satisfied with that, right? It's natural to want to win, but again, you can't control the outcome. You can control the effort. Something else that I've found very helpful over the past many years has been when something goes wrong, just ask yourself, what can I do to change the outcome, okay? So for example, there'll be days where I may not be able to get a meal in, or I may have to have different macronutrients than what I'm supposed to have. What can I do to help with that? Well, I can adjust the next meal, right? Or I can look at my schedule in advance and see what meal do I have time. So sometimes I'll move around the meals I'm eating throughout the day. That's really going to make sure I get the macros I need for that day at the end of the day. And that's just one example. So don't always be thinking about the thing that went wrong, because if all you do is think about that, you're going to get down, depressed, frustrated, and everything else. But if you look at it as an opportunity to make an adjustment, how can I get a different outcome? That's going to change from that negativity to a positive experience, right? Because now, even though this particular event didn't go my way, well, I am taking steps to make sure that it does the next time. And then last, something I'd like to share is it happens, right? How you respond to that is going to define your character, all right? What do I mean by that? It could be in your day-to-day examples. A lift didn't go your way. What are you going to do? Are you going to, be okay with that, back off a little bit, finish your workout, and then go after it again the following week? Or are you going to get upset, load the bar a little bit heavier, and potentially risk injury? That's one example day to day. Another example is if you're a competitive athlete, no matter what your sport is. Maybe you didn't perform on game day the way that you wanted to. Sometimes that's okay, right? You have to tell yourself, I showed up, I did my best, and keep in mind, guys, your best is going to change day to day. So that's why it's important to look at this journey of lifting over a period of time, not as one singular event. All right, I've been rambling on. Just wanted to say I appreciate everybody who's joined the channel. I got a lot of awesome plans for the future. I want to talk to you about things that I have learned working with very high-level powerlifters, things that I'm still learning in bodybuilding by working with my coach, who's also an IFBB pro herself, and just gonna want everybody to win, man. That's my plan. All right, have a great week, y'all.